Hey there, beloved Ascension pioneers. Welcome to another short Ascension update with me, Polona. Maybe it's the last one before I move. This will be probably on this weekend or the beginning of next week, which probably will give me the non-ability to be on camera for a while. Well, you know, it's going to be pretty intense. There's going to be a lot of physical work to do. We will have to repaint everything, build the furniture. It's going to be all barren once we walk in. So there's going to be a lot of work and physical work too. And I am trying this week, I came back from a short retreat just yesterday, and I am trying, to kind of bring forth what I can in this time, to have those last few days of pushing it through, putting out the information that I want to put and bring you some updates about Ascension Pioneers. So I managed to get out for a while during this hectic, everything is happening at once, and I have a mechanic one last day on this Friday, and something happened with my tooth. There's the big, thingy falling out, so I need to refill it, and it's like, oh, everything happening at once so fast. And this weekend, before I left, I just announced for everybody that I won't be able to do Ascension messages for a while. And then everybody was putting their requests and sending me in and donating for the messages. They were paying for them because the messages are not for free, and I will explain this later. And I had so many requests. I still have many to do, and I was like, oh gosh, so much. Well, let's start at the beginning. First of all, I just came back from the post office because yesterday I missed the postman, so I needed to get the packages myself. And I received a few of my new oracle decks because I was asking myself, why was I guided to get so many new oracles? And when I started doing Ascension messages via audio now, because I can get more information through this way, and it can be so much more natural than typing, because when you're typing, it's just not the same thing. It's very time consuming, and I cannot get everything I want to get out. And I'm more intuitive when I'm just speaking. I'm just letting it flow. So this current wave of people who were asking for Ascension messages, they were really pleased with them, and everybody was resonating and thanking me and telling me that that's exactly what they need to hear at the moment. And I always say to you guys, that's how Spirit works. It will give you guidance in every moment. So I was asking myself, why, was I guided to receive so many of the new oracle decks, to order them before I move, because then I'll be more focused on other things. So I wanted to get all my packages done by then, and the answer was because you will be enjoying yourself working with so many different decks, because different decks have different energy patterns. They have different energy that you're tuning into while you're guided to intuitively, and I'm a very intuitive person, and I can tune into Spirit very easily. I don't need astrology, I don't need certain modules that people are using, which are all fine. But I'm just saying that even the tools that we can use, certain divination tools, they're not tools if we don't have awareness that's working through us with those tools. So it's always about awareness, and that's why I like to do these things, because I work with my awareness, and so far everybody was always resonating. Sometimes, Spirit will share something that we won't yet be ready to hear at that time. That can also come through. At that time, if I'm doing a message, and if something is coming through, Spirit will always tell me that say it anyway, because it's what needs to come out, needs to be triggered. And usually I was a catalyst for that kind of change, and sometimes it was very unpleasant because I said the things that people maybe didn't want to hear even in my life. But at the end, it always shows up as this perfect thing that you need on your journey because you're growing and expanding. And sometimes people, who just seek confirmations all the time, they don't understand that we can't always function on confirmations because we stay closed up like this. We need expansion. Our soul is infinite expansion. It's what it yearns for. So today I got these cards, and there's a few of them. I can show you the decks. There's just new ones. I have many more, and I'm so excited to work with them now, because before, when the messages were coming through with typing, I wasn't even getting so many requests that I wanted, and I didn't even wanted them because I said, oh gosh, I don't want too many. I'm going to be typing here, and it's just so time consuming. I already type so much when I'm doing my writings, in articles and blogs, so I didn't want to do more typing. So then I found this audio program. I think it's called Audacity, and it records for free in your computer. And it was just so simple to use, and I was just so happy to receive that. And I said, nothing. I won't just wait, because I wanted to wait after I move. But I didn't want to wait. I just said, okay, I'll go for it. I'll start doing them via audio. So there's just this last person that I got, like a message transcribed, but actually I'm doing them audio now, which again, it is time consuming still, but the feeling when I do them, it brings me excitement and joy. Well, before it wasn't so much this way because it wasn't fully authentic. So I was like, oh yeah, you know, that's where probably Spirit wasn't guiding me so much in this direction, and I wasn't receiving that many requests, you know. And now it was like flooding in, and I'm thinking, because the moment I shifted energy to being more authentic, and maybe I didn't trust myself yet fully that I can provide this and that I can do it while, you know, addressing this via audio and speaking to you personally where you are in your ascension journey, what Spirit is showing you, what you are to see, the energy you're working with right now, which is basically what an ascension message is. It will show you where you are now. Sometimes people will ask certain questions, which is also good. You know, it helps me to see what you're focusing on. But sometimes the message from Spirit will show you something completely different. Or it will give you a wise guidance as to how you should really approach this, you know, not from that ego, but the merging of soul and ego, which is what Ascension truly is. So anyway, I'll speak about that more, but I want to show you a few cards that I received just to know how much my newness really includes. And I got, first ones I really like because I love working with fairy and elf energy. I'm partially part elf too, elfish princess. And this one is the Woodland Wisdom Oracle cards. This one I got today. I love this one. I really resonate with this one. And when I did the messages, they're all about falling in love, and all the messages what I received were so consistent. And I saw this card, you know, it's like falling in love. Oh, I didn't show you the oracle yet. I'm sorry, I'm too hyper. It's Oracle of Mermaids. It's from Lucy Cavendish, and I love this one. I already have the fairy one. This one is so good. It's just the moment I was looking through the cards, I just was falling in love with them each one by one. And I was looking at this card, falling in love, kissing the divine in another and yourself. I really love this one. And then, you know, I was shuffling the cards, I was attuning them to my heart space, and then looking at this one was again on the top. I was like, oh, I wish I would pull this one. And then I did a reading with 3 cards for myself just before doing this video, and it was this card in the middle. I was like, oh gosh, it's so aligned, because Spirit will always give you, you know, the energy that you're working with yourself. Then I got the mythic oracle. These are like Greek ones, you know, the ancient Greek gods, and the archetypes. These are also really good. I love these. I will show you a bit of these. Carolyn Miss archetype cards. I saw these with Elizabeth Harper's. She's an intuitive and a healer, and she makes those weekly color scope messages. She's so fun to watch. She's really tuning into the Spirit. And she just had those cards and said, oh, I need to have those. You know, when you need to have something, it's just like Spirit calls you, because there's a certain frequency that these cards bring to you. It's like an addition to what you're already working with. So it's not like when you have oracle decks, because at the beginning I was asking myself, when I saw other people who were working with readings, you know, on YouTube and so on, I was asking myself, why they have so many cards, you know? Why do you need so many? But when I started buying some new ones, you know, not just those from Doreen Virtue, because they're more for the beginners probably. I'm really drawn to magical cards and enchanted cards and deeper meaning kind of cards. And I just, you know, was refreshing my oracle deck library. And some cards just have amazing books, or sometimes it's just what you need to read. But when you're intuitive, you know how to work with those divination tools. You know how to work with the oracles, because you know what you're drawn to. You know what gets your attention. You know how to connect them together. And I was already posting one day on Facebook that I'm doing my readings differently now. You know, I'm putting a few cards. I'm still using those that I have written there for the Ascension messages, because these are more like higher frequencies, what you're working with on the energy level, with the consciousness. But then I also use in my readings a few of the oracles, aligning the Ascension message with a few Spirit messages. And then just when you bring everything together in this magical energy thread, and it's so amazing. You know, for example, when I'm shuffling the cards, sometimes I'm already hearing the words like for example, in one reading was she needs to change her diet. And it was really funny, because then the card just flipped over, you know, after I took one oracle deck, and it was health, and it was like this scale, and there was fruits and vegetables on it. And I'm like, oh gosh, you know, trusting your guidance, because I get a lot with my intuitive, I get this knowing, I get feelings or sensations, or, you know, sentences that are really clear, that are not of my own personality, but they're really coming from that higher guidance, from that wise part of you, from that higher self. And then I also got magical spell cards. These are also from Lucy, and they're more like spells, but you can use them other ways as well, like energy essences. So I wanted to show you a few of the Carolyn Miss Archetype cards, because I think these are just fantastic, because in actuality it's even so with astrology, you know, we're all, when we're walking our journey of self-awareness and self-completion, of wholeness, of being a divine integral being, we're all walking the all 12 signs of the zodiac, and then embracing and embodying all of them and beyond, opening up to new ones. Oh, by the way, the sound that you're hearing, it's the trees falling down. You know, we had storms a while ago, and there were some trees that were just hit, or, you know, they just fell, so they're chopping them down today. And I asked Spirit, why does this always happen to me? I just returned from my trip, and I sit here in a blanket for 1 hour, and they start doing that right away when I come. And I always get this. I always have to be present somewhere where there's something happening, something environmental, or trees falling down. I'm always asking myself, why? And the Spirit always tells me, because you're a pillar of light, you're holding the energy. And it always happens to me in my journey, and now I'm starting to embrace this more. So also, this is a part of the what I need to share about messages. What I'm putting the Ascension messages out there, I want to help you with you claiming your vibration, you know, not just people asking what's my purpose, but your purpose is your vibration. So with the messages, I'm sharing with you what you're good at, what is in your soul, what comes through Spirit about you, what you need to embrace inside of you. And your purpose is so multidimensional that I can just put it all in just those few minutes of the reading, you know. Your soul purpose is so much more that you will discover as you go along your journey. So you cannot get the whole package right away. You're walking on those steps. Okay, now I just said about the trees. Oh, there was also one example when I was just by the lake, when I went for my 2-day trip now. One day I was around the lake, and yesterday I had an intense hiking day. Ooh, gosh, I walked all day. It was very high above, walking so much. It was so steep. Now my back hurts a bit because it was quite a tour. And the first day around the lake, there was these people that were really unaware. And we felt that we were there kind of like surrounded in this dense energy. And then there was these people, and then we see 2 little children peeing in the water, and it was a lake, and it's a national park, guys. And I just couldn't stand it, because I was always an advocate for nature. I always needed to share my messages. Although when I was a little girl, and, you know, I was so shy, I couldn't speak up ever. And now my throat chakra is open, and fully open and activated, and I'm not afraid to speak up. Although I know I won't always be embraced, you know. So what was happening was, my mom was saying something to the children, and I said, it's not their fault, they haven't been taught properly. And then I say, hey, Mrs., you know, there was this woman there, and the husband, and they had these weird faces, very, very primitive looking, like the way they looked at you. And I said, excuse me, do you know that this is a lake, and it's a mountain lake, and it's not like you can just pee in it like people do in an ocean, for example. I said, you can do this. I said, do you ever think about nature then that's alive? And she started showing me faces like, you know, and she started yelling at me. And the man said that this will be turning on me one day. He mentioned the word revenge. I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe, but I just had to speak up. And then we packed our bags and we left because we couldn't be there, because they were really mean. They didn't want to listen. And my mom said they do know what they're doing. They just don't want to embrace it yet. And the energy was very primitive, very dense, but I needed to speak up, because I feel like, you know, like these cards that just showed me when I got, I picked the archetypes, and I asked Spirit to show me 3 archetypes that I'm working with most right now. You know, we all have all archetypes within us. It's just what lays more dormant, or what is expressed more. And I got the Avenger. And it's like, you know, with the superheroes, and it said, light attributes of this are desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. So I'm like, I'm always doing this, you know, I'm always needing to spread the word, because nature doesn't have a voice, you know, aside from what's happening sometimes with the disasters. Although they're not disasters, you know, nature's just shifting in her own way. But it's like I always felt this elvish nature in me. I needed to speak, like, be an advocate for nature. And although people don't listen, you still plant a seed of awareness somewhere. And then I remember we were walking, towards a new destination to find, and I just was crying because I needed to release that energy. And I said to myself, why am I crying again? I don't even care. I didn't even take it personally. I was like, oh yes, you released with crying, and I'm always doing that all my life. When there was this dense energy, and then sometimes I just started crying for no reason, and I got this response that is just purification. It's, you know, and this is what it's like. The Virgin. The second one was the Virgin, and its light attribute is maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit and purification. And I am a Virgo by my sign, so my sun sign. So that's very interesting. And the third one I got for myself is Prince. And its light attribute is romantic charm and potential for power. So it's like, you know, how princes are noble and they're ruling, they're kind. They're actually learning how to rule, you know, the people with wisdom and integrity. And I told you guys that one day I had these light visitations, and they told me, they said that they're family of light from Pleiades, and that I should never forget that I'm a princess, that I should never, they just kept repeating this. And it's not about the princess, you know, like we have in this 3D duality, sometimes, you know, we think that this is a spoiled person who's just acting like a princess. It's not that. It's the noble qualities of royalty that inherit wisdom, and how to rule with those qualities that are for the greater good of others too. So, you know, like in the end of the movie Lord of the Rings, where Aragorn and he rules again the country, the nations, and everything coming together into this grateful, peaceful conclusion. And it's that nobility, you know, and it's before you can actually become the king, you know. So these are, oh, and I got the Mediator card. The Mediator, that says gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument. Again, bringing two sides of the story together, bringing, you know, polarity together. And I need to deal with this now. This one fell out because you know, I'm in the middle of working with other people in this move. You know, there's one party and us and the third party, because it's like a chain reaction. So this is what I need. But I did choose a whole spectrum of archetypes that I would like you to see, because these are the ones that I really resonate with. And I will be working with those cards too in my readings, and I'll, you know, just share these cards, and then I'll tell you a bit about the update and what the messages are like, and then I'll conclude, just wrap it up and go home. Okay, I felt drawn to the Goddess, and its light attribute is the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. I feel this is a part of me connected with nature and just immersing with our life. I also chose Child, Divine, with the innocence, purity, and redemption suggests a special connection with the divine. And that is that pure, untainted essence with me, the playful one. There's a martyr, I don't know how this is spelled, learning to the transcend nature of service to oneself or a cause. I like this one too. Lover, yeah, it's about inner passion and commitment. It says great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. And we all want to be that. Hero, heroine, light attribute is passion for a journey of personal empowerment, and they are climbing mountains just as I am. And I always talk about self-empowerment. Hermit, I love that. I love being alone. Seek solitude to focus intently on inner life, source personal creativity. Because you got to be hermit to then share this with others, you know. You got to know both sides. Mystic, revels in intimate union with the divine. So when you have that magical connection, you know, that I'm talking about so much. Midas, so miser, entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn everything to gold, anything to gold, delight in sharing life's riches, and then sharing that. When I talk about soul alchemy, it's how we create. Then you have the Messiah, but not the Messiah, you know, like a 3D interpretation of it, someone who saves you, but someone who is serving humanity with humility. And I love this. And I love images as well. Mentor, its light attribute is passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. I am kind of mentoring some people with my wordings and with my own sharing of my own embodiment, personal journey. Well, networker, you know, all of us on Facebook, the community of pioneers. It says enhances unity through the sharing of information and engenders social awareness and empathy. I love this, because you got to utilize the tools of networking to know how to best spread your message around. It's important as a pioneer. I love this one. Guide. These are my favorite ones, which I'm holding right now, and you'll see why. A guide represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. So you're like a guiding light a lamp for others. A priest, and I have told you already about my Atlantis priesthood visions and dreams and guidance. Facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. So priests hold the light and then they spread it across the other parts of creation. Servant, delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. Yeah, there's other examples of this one. And of course, the last and least, pioneer. This is who we are. And you got to see the definition, and then just add word Ascension Pioneer. Its light attribute is passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. And yes, we are showing and paving the way for something that just, hasn't been done, hasn't been there before, This paving with our own sense of inner magic and our personal wisdom, with what we actually receive ourselves, and then just, you need to share it because you're guided so by your soul. Okay, now a bit more about the messages. The Ascension messages I feel are really important right now because after the 8 of 8, there's this, the butterfly just came in, the wet one. There was an increased, I think, the asking of people. There's so many people who want more guidance now, who are like finding themselves on the verge of this threshold of being pushed, forward, but not fully knowing what to do next. So this kind of guidance I feel can help you a lot because it just brings you back to your path of true soul. And because soul is really guiding us strongly now, it's just driving the wheel now. And I'm saying this to many people who are walking this path too. And the messages, like I said, they're coming if you order one. They are actually, what I did now is I've increased the energy exchange because I just had this exchange with this beautiful heart, and she told me, she said, I have a feeling that you do too much for the price of $20. She said you should put 40, and then I was thinking, okay, 40, I don't really like the number, so I made a compromise and I made it 33. So I have upgraded the service. It will no longer be in writing. It won't be like messages that I'm, typing on my Ascension Pioneers Facebook page, but I will do them in audio so that I can share more information. It will be packed with light codes. It will be also with additional spirit messages that you are getting right now and the energy that you're working with right now. That is most for your highest good and the overall good of all, because when it is your highest good, it's also the highest good of all. It's one and the same. So this is what the messages are looking like. They're something like around 15 or more minutes of me just channeling through, sourcing the messages. And like I said, so far there was an increased amount of people who wanted them. So I've seen if there's like the price is not, the energy exchange is not, in alignment, then there's going to be too many people wanted and you want to have enough time to do them all. So I want it to be in balance, not too much, not too little, because then I just wouldn't be able to do them all, because I still need almost an hour to get one message across. And there's a lot of work that goes through it, but I love doing it. So I decided to do that for $33 now. I also am gonna, be starting to value myself more, I feel, in what I do, because there's people still sometimes that write to you. When you write something like that on the page, they think you're gonna do everything for free. It's like what I share, I already do everything for free, but personal work is personal work. It's just what it is, and so I can do this. If you want freebies, then you just, follow my blog, watch the videos, read the writings and the Ascension updates, and that's it. But if you want to work more personally, I have to connect to your energy, and there's a lot of energy goes into that. So this is not for free, all those you free buyers. And people, usually I notice this trend that people who think it's for free, they will write you a story like this. And people who just want a message, they just say, please, send me a message that's in alignment with my energy, what I need to hear right now. And it's so funny because I'm noticing this trend. It's all about awareness. Oh, awareness. Yeah, so this is how it's going to be like now, and these messages usually take around 1 to 3 days to get in your inbox. But if I'll be away, or right now when I'm moving, it might take longer, but that's it. But usually they don't take longer than 1 to 3 days, and especially now that I can record them, it can get faster, That's it. And I will be moving now, like I said. I might not have internet there for a while. I don't know yet. It's all still very much in flux. I don't know everything yet. There's still a lot of things that are hidden. And I'm just waiting and trusting and just surrendering to it all. And we will have Mary's Assumption Day this week, which will be an energy of that pure, muttering, naturing self. So do activate that as well, because the whole summer has been about that. We have water trine energy. We had Star of David alignment, which was actually concluded in a way, not concluded, but completed, like the circle with the 8 of 8. There were huge, like lightnings here, and I said to my mom, you will see what they'll bring. And the next day, and at the same day, the shift happens, and with the messages and everything, and abundance flowing in my realm as well. So with actually recording a video, if you have seen my light activation for the infinite abundance a day before, and then the next day this happened, it was like this magic of how connected I am to know what's coming through spirit and what we're actually embodying in this journey, those of us who are here where we are in this timeline. So this is what's happening. There's this week I feel is a week of great decisions also, and but basically all summer long we have been activating that pure trust and that feminine energy of being and combining it with that energy of doing. And I have heard many times, you know, from people that they love how I embody this balance of masculine and feminine, and I say to them, you know, it's a work. I need to, you know, work on it all the time too. It's not like it says here, I think I read for some archetype that, you know, being a mystic doesn't mean, you know, being in that energy space for half an hour and then that's it. You gotta really immerse in it. You gotta integrate it into your every aspect of your life. So on Thursday, I think we have Mary's Ascension, so we can activate even more of that divine feminine, that nurture, you know, nurturing your spirit. And also what Mary represents is that divine mother archetype, you know, that's just all the creation kind of love, not just unconditional human love, but the creation love, the universal love. And it's just, there's a lot of changes happening this year. So if you want an Ascension message, you need to go to my services page, or you know, you can find that via Facebook and the album, I think, called Ascension Messages. Also in my blog, Diary of an Ascension Pioneer, there's this shared everywhere. The same goes for the session with me. You will see the amount of energy exchange. It is how it is. You know, we all need to support ourselves. Sometimes people think that those of us who work with the subtle energies and with spirit, you know, can go hungry. Still cannot do that. So we have those gifts. It's time for us to utilize them. The tree fell and the tree said yes. And it's time for us to utilize them and to share them. If they can benefit others, you know, I can greatly do it. I'm always enjoying myself so much, but I cannot do beyond my, you know, my line of doing things, freely sharing with everyone. So there's a certain point where this a line is being drawn. And if you want that message, go to my services page. After receiving the PayPal confirmation, I'll be happy to support you. And do enjoy everything in your life. I hope I'll be able to be with you soon, because I miss so much doing this and being connected with all of you and everything, you know. But I will have to have some days just for the physical move as well. I'll see, you know, what happens. And as soon as I get internet back and established and everything's fine, I'll be around. So take care, guys. I love you all so much. Take care soon. Bye.